And of course, we're having our wise women here to help you and show you what this academy is about and what we're doing. And today we're going to talk about the fifth dimension. So I'm going to let Suzanne Stebila actually go first and explain a little bit about the fifth dimension. So just get in you a comfortable place because it's going to be all meditative, and just get and relax. You can take some notes, but of course we'll send you the webinar anyway. So Suzanne, we're ready.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So I'm going to give a brief description of the fifth dimension, and then I'll do a journey at the end of my description to get us started on our webinar today. So we know the two most common dimensions of reality that people are familiar with is the waking state of consciousness and the sleeping state and the dream state of consciousness. So waking is mostly in our 3D, which is our human form, and dreams are mostly in the fourth dimension. And the fourth dimension is important, and I'll get to that. I'm going to go through each one. So, like energies of the spiritual realms, each dimension has slightly different characteristics. These energies are gradient, just like the auric bodies that make up our personal field. The soul has a presence in all the dimensions at the same time. The trick is to try not to focus on one dimension, which is usually the third, because this is our human form. So the first dimension, energies of water, mineral kingdom, and the like, the more dense energies is the first dimension. The second dimension is when you have awareness, you have animals, plants, and we start moving into our duality in the second dimension. The third dimension is cause and effect. This is where most humans consider themselves home, in the third dimension. And our lesson on the third dimensional field is unconditional love. So now we move into the fourth dimension, the astral plane. So people who are mostly focused on the third dimension know that their fourth dimensional selves, their subconscious mind, through their subconscious mind, they have an idea that there's more to them than just their third dimensional being. So when we interact with the fourth dimension, we do that through dreams, intuition, imagination, meditation, psychic abilities, lucid dreaming, out of body experiences, and other phenomena like that. So that's where we're starting to interact with the fourth dimension. So transcendental consciousness and cosmic consciousness are the ways to experience the fourth dimension or higher dimensions during a normal waking day. This is where meditation comes in. For us, meaning humans, the astral body or energy body is our fourth dimensional self. So we know that through energy work and Reiki and experiences that we've had maybe in meditation. And this astral body is about 2 to 6 inches away from the skin. It's like just a little sheath that runs over us, where our energy body extends from the physical body. This holds our expressions of our personality, our thoughts, and our desires, our likes, dislikes, our inner child. So this is where we can access those other expressions of ourselves that aren't physical. Now, the fourth dimension is the learning the way of love. So that's why the fourth dimension is connected through the heart chakra. This is our bridge to the fifth dimension. So now we go into the fifth dimension, which is the causal plane, the higher self, no physical body. So thoughts, universes, alternate selves, um, higher planes of manifestation, they come from the fifth dimension. Time travel, desires, fears, they're less dominant in the higher levels of the fifth dimension, because we have transcended ourselves. So there is no time. So it changes the dynamic of the lower densities. So the fifth dimension has been called the realms of desire because it's so easy to manifest from the fifth dimension. That's why we use the fifth dimension. With intention and practice, you can shift your awareness to other dimensions, even higher than the fifth dimension, but we're going to stay right there today. You can maintain your physical body while temporarily visiting the fifth dimension, because there is no body in the fifth dimension, but we can transcend that briefly through the physical plane, with the gateway through the fourth dimension and the heart, as I spoke of earlier. So we connect to the fifth dimension through the auric field. Talked about that. It's also associated with the throat chakra for speaking your inner divine truth. The fifth dimension is the way of wisdom. So that's really important to know that your throat chakra plays a big part in expressing ourselves so that we can have a better understanding of the fifth dimension. So right now, I'm going to take you all through one second. I just want to bring up my meditation. So I'm going to bring you through a meditation. And this is going to be more of a journey. And we're going to go into the lower worlds and we're going to revoke some vows that we've taken. So vows are different than contracts or something a little more deep. Vows are made on this plane by our human selves. We make vows when we get married. We break vows when we get divorced. We make vows when we adhere to a religious sect. We break those vows when we choose to take another direction. So sometimes those vows just need to be revoked. It's not a heavy manifestation. It's just a nice light journey to get us started on today's webinar. So if you'll make yourself comfortable, close your eyes, ground yourself, feet on the floor if you can. So take a nice deep breath. We're going to go down and we're going to catch some of those vows and revoke them and release some of our limiting beliefs. So see yourself in a forest. And this forest is nice and green. It can be in a warm place or a cool place, whatever you prefer. So as you look around this forest, there's going to be a tree that calls to you. When you choose your tree, walk up to it and enter through a large opening at the base of the tree. As you go through the opening, you feel yourself slide down deep into the underworld, down through the roots, down deep into the earth. And you're going down further and further through the roots. And as the roots end, they turn into water, carrying you even deeper along the stream. So you're floating down the stream, very relaxed, letting it take you where you need to go, until you wash up on a shore. Then you rise to your feet. And as you rise, you're greeted by the gatekeeper. In my lineage, it's Huascar, the shadow warrior. It could be another guide for you in your lineage. So we ask our guide to bring us to the Hall of Contracts. We're going to walk towards the Hall of Contracts. And you're going to enter, but you're going to bypass the Book of Contracts and enter a smaller room where we store our vows. These vows can be made by us to others, be made in the past, or the present, or the future. So we're going to open that book and see what comes to you as a vow that is no longer relevant to you in your life. It can be old and new, even outdated. So we tear out the page, or as many pages as you like, with the intent to revoke these vows, either to you or another. Hold on to these pages as you exit the room, back into the Hall of Contracts. And in the corner, you're going to see an eternal blue flame. Walk up to this flame and place these pages in the flame, releasing all people, places, and things that may re-trigger this vow. You are now open and cleared of any and all energies that were vowed to you or another. Thank your guide. Exit the cave. Walk back to the shore, letting yourself come back into the stream, floating back upstream. Be taken into the tree roots, back to the surface of the forest, knowing you are now free to invoke new vows that will serve you in your higher calling. Keeping your eyes closed, we're going to move to Susan.
I'll take a deep breath. And the fifth dimension holds the truth of one's real identity, as well as the intentions, beliefs, motivations, and divine purpose. And I'm going to take us to the library of the Akashic Records. And within those records is the Book of the Divine You, which holds everything you've ever seen, done, been, heard, smelled, experienced. And it's deep down within your subconscious. And so I'm going to do this meditation for all of us as we call back to yourselves any and all energy that has been scattered out in the universe, feeling yourself growing stronger and more centered as you do. And go within to experience that inner self. Find that place of deep inner calm, that center of serenity within yourself. You're aware and alert, yet calm and balanced, and at peace with yourself and the world. Sense your higher self and soul surrounding you with their light. You're now standing in the light of your soul and your higher self. And as you stand there with your higher self, I'm asking for a general clearing for all high selves, for a general clearing of this group of high selves that are gathered here today, for a clearing of all the high self committees that are here today. And I'm asking to clear all the knots. Untie the knots that are in your mind, your heart, and your life. Remove the have-nots, the cannots, the do-nots that are in your mind. Erase the will-nots, the may-nots, the might-nots that may find a home in your heart. Release all the could-nots, would-nots, should-nots that obstruct your life. And remove from your mind, your heart, and your life all of the am-nots that have been allowed to hold you back, especially the thought that you are not good enough. Remove any and all blocks. Restore any and all gifts that you were born with that have been overshadowed during this lifetime. Access and download your spiritual gifts. And then I ask that we reconfirm the vow that we are now alive in the years that will save the earth. And we are here to make a change on the planet. Drop all vows that would get in the way of that, for they belong to another consciousness and another energy. Instead, renew those vows with the same Akashic energy that took them originally. All the lifetimes that are now under you are your support. And like a rod of energy, you will put that down through your line, through your own history. Take control of them now, because you will need the help of all the consciousness of these many souls who you have been from the time you first came to this planet. And together we will create a white light like the planet has never seen. The light of the many me's, Focus through the current me. That's why we have come here this time. And that's why we have existed through the ages, to be here now. It is time. It's time to evolve and step into your higher self and become who you were meant to be. Activate your particular set of gifts. A deep breath, opening your eyes. Coming back to yourselves as I pass you along to Cathy.
Thank you so much, Susan. That was beautiful. I'm just going to sip of water. So today I'm going to lead you all through a field clearing exercise that's going to help us connect to the fifth dimension. And to do this, we're going to visualize ourselves already being connected to our highest self and in harmony with the divine. And we're going to use some techniques that will be covered in the Ancient Healing Academy, EFT, and matrix re-imprinting. And introducing you to the matrix today, matrix is sort of another name for what physicists call the quantum field. Max Planck, who's the father of quantum theory, said, there's a matrix of energy that provides the blueprint for our physical world. And the premise of the matrix is that we're made up of energy that vibrates so fast, we appear as solid matter. And we're linked by a web that connects us all, and that's the matrix. And our linear experience of time, past, present, future, it's an illusion. It doesn't really exist. We're connected to the matrix via our thoughts and our hearts. And we attract life experiences by what we send out through our thoughts and feelings. So all of our life experiences are imprinted in our field. And today we're going to consciously imprint an experience of the fifth dimension in our matrix. And we're going to go through an exercise that's going to help us align our thoughts and our feelings with being in the fifth dimension. So I want to refresh everyone's mind and take us through all the points we're going to be using today. They're a little bit different than last time, but mostly the same. So we'll start here on the karate chop point. Then we'll move to the top of the head, inside the eyebrows, side of the eyes, under the nose, the chin, the collarbone, under the arm. And then we're going to use the fingers today, using the thumb, the first finger, middle finger, fourth finger, baby finger, and then back to that karate chop point. And I'm going to have you follow along both with my tapping and what I'm saying. And I'm going to say a phrase and then leave room for you to repeat the phrase. And sometimes we'll also just be visualizing in silence. But it is important to repeat because then you'll be activating each point with the energy and information of the phrasing. And there is going to be times when I ask you to close your eyes. And when that happens, I'll instruct you where to tap. And just go ahead and keep your eyes closed until I tell you to reopen them. So when you do a field clearing exercise, we use a simple phrase of what we want to manifest. And for this exercise, I've chosen, I feel one with the universe and I am connected to my highest self, because unity consciousness and non-duality are fifth dimension experiences. And we want to experience a feeling of oneness and unconditional love and acceptance. And also the fifth dimension is where our higher self has the opportunity to merge with our three-dimensional physical body. So we're going to get started here. We're just going to start here on this karate chop point. So repeating after me. Even though I haven't always felt one with the universe and been connected to my highest self, I deeply love and accept myself. Now moving to the top of the head. I haven't always felt one with the universe and been connected to my highest self. And then coming inside the eyebrows. I want to always feel one with the universe and be connected to my highest self. Inside of the eye. I choose to always feel one with the universe and be connected to my highest self. And moving under the eye. I love to always feel one with the universe and be connected to my highest self. Because, now I want you to go ahead and close your eyes and think about all the reasons why you love to always feel one with the universe and be connected to your highest self. And I want you to list all the reasons, either in your mind's eye or out loud, about why you love this feeling. Perhaps you feel expanded, certain, safe, loving. And keeping your eyes closed, we're going to move to tapping under the nose. And repeating, now that I feel one with the universe and am connected to my highest self, what I see is, and I want you to visualize or bring to mind all the positive images you associate with feeling one with the universe and being connected to your highest self. What do you see? Perhaps you see yourself surrounded by light, your heart full for giving and receiving, willingness to open. Let yourself just see what it feels like to be connected to the universe. Now, bringing your finger under your chin and tapping under your chin, repeating, now that I feel one with the universe and I'm connected to my highest self, what I hear is, and what are others saying about you? What are you saying about yourself? Again, you can say these out loud if it helps you resonate with you more. What do you hear? Perhaps you hear that you're a beacon of light, you inspire others, you're inspirational. What do you hear? Now moving your tapping to the collarbone, just ask yourself what action you need to take for you to feel one with the universe and be connected to your highest self. What action do you need to take? This could be as simple as accepting it, showing up, softening, meditating. Ask yourself, what action? Now moving to under your arm, repeating, now that I feel one with the universe and am connected to my highest self, what I feel is, now get into the feeling space, keeping those eyes closed. If you're having trouble accessing this, remember a time in your life when you felt that way. Allow your feelings to move through your whole body. What do you feel? Perhaps you feel completely open, receptive, connected to your wisdom. Just let yourself feel it. And then moving onto your thumb with your eyes closed, I want you to choose one image that you associate with feeling one with the universe and connected to your highest self. And be sure that you are in the image. And when you have that image, take a moment and just connect to it. Let the vibrance of the colors, the smells, the sounds, the tastes come into focus. And just turn up the volume on that image. And as you tap the thumb, just open to the sweetness of who you are. And then moving on to that first finger tapping, now bring this image into your mind. Just let it melt into your brain. Picture all the neurons in your brain reconnecting to make this image your new reality. And as you tap the first finger, embrace your fearlessness and allow yourself to flow. And then coming to that middle finger, I want you to send a signal to every cell in your body that this is your new reality. Let your whole body reconfigure. Let this new information flow through every vein, fill up every organ, so that this is your new reality. And just tapping this middle finger, awaken your connectedness to all that is and the power of your inner growth. And then moving on to that fourth finger, just take this image into your heart and let it fill up with this new information, and let any old emotions or feelings that don't serve this new feeling just be transformed. Tapping this fourth finger, connect to the breath and your willingness to receive. And then moving onto that little finger, make all the colors around the image really strong and bright, and get in touch with all the positive emotions that you associate with this image, and just really let yourself feel it. And open your heart effortlessly to receive all the joy that is around you. And then moving on to that karate chop point, with those eyes closed, bring to mind all the things you are grateful for in relation to feeling one with the universe and being connected to your highest self. You can list these silently or out loud, just feeling that gratitude. Maybe feel grateful that you're loving and loved, that you're a vibrational being, that you have wisdom and light. Take a deep breath in, take your hands out in front of you like a giant beach ball, gather them, placing your hands on your heart and bringing your image into your heart. Breathe in and exhale, and then taking your hands from your heart and sending them out in front of you, sending this image out into the field. And spend some time doing this so that there's a very strong sense of that new image out there. And just take this moment now to finish with an offering of gratitude in order to seal the new behavior with these positive emotions. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes. And now I'm going to pass it on to Zeffi. Zeffi, you have to unmute.
You're right. I said, thank you, ladies. I'm a little bit, this is because going through the meditation, going through the steps, I was there. So I forget to unmute myself, of course. But I want to take you a little bit back to 25,000 years ago that a lot of ancient people talk about. And the Mayas talked about that. and the ancient Greeks, and Pythagoras was talking about that. And he was saying that 25,000 years ago, humanity was in a really much higher space, which was the perfect human. And since then, we went to a downfall. And Da Vinci has actually the perfect human. And I know you'll seen it. It's the one that, with the hands out, and it's in the Merkaba. And that's where we need to come back to. So this meditation that we're going to do today, and it was an interesting visualization. When I was meditating, it came to me. It's the fifth dimension is about us being the perfect human. It's not just being connected to our spiritual self, but also grounding and manifesting when we need here in the earth. But what has happened is when the world went up and started going down 25,000 years ago, where we are now it starts to go back up. So, and it's called the ninth wave in the Mayan calendar. And I don't know if you ever heard of that. So, and Pythagoras talks about that is we, in the end of those low vibration, 25,000 years, 25,000 years, and we're going up towards the golden age, towards the fifth dimension, that we can manifest, that we can bring anything that we want through our speech, but because our heart is open. So, and we've done a lot of work, a lot of us, and that's been our path to open our hearts in the third and fourth dimension. And I know you all have done that work. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you to a visualization meditation, and we're going to connect to that perfect human again. So if you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes and just visualize you're sitting on top of the earth. And just feel the earth, feel everything that the earth has, like the water, the sea, the green, smell it. Just really connect to that earth, that ball of, we know, the roundness of her. And as you're sitting in the earth, what actually appears inside the earth is the human of Da Vinci Code. But what has happened when the poles actually shifted, humanity shifted. So instead of the crown being where your first chakra is, it went upside down. And visualize that is the first chakra, your first chakra, and the Mother Earth's first chakra was connected. That's why this lifetime, and a lot of lifetimes that we had up to this point, we worked a lot with our fears. But the perfect human does not have fears. So now what you need to do as you're visualizing your first chakra and the human inside the earth first chakra, connecting. Let go of the struggles. Let go of everything that holds you back. And now what you need to do, shift the human inside the earth. So the crown chakra of the human is connected to your sacrum. So you become one. I'm going to give you a few minutes to visualize that the earth is shifting and the human inside is shifting. But you're still sitting safe on the Mother Earth. And now just visualize that right above your head, from the universe, this incredible light is coming down your crown chakra, going through your spine, touching all the way to your sacrum. And now just see that white light is coming out from your sacrum to the crown chakra of the perfect human inside the earth. And the white light is continue running through the perfect human all the way down to the sacrum of that perfect human. And then the white light becomes an anchor. So you're connected as above, so below. And now let's see if we can reach the heart chakra of the perfect human with your heart chakra. And also the throat chakra of the perfect human to your throat chakra. So when you speak your truth from your heart. You might feeling different sensations like heat or cold. And now I want you to say something that you've been holding for a long time, and it's your truth. You can say it loud or you can say it inside yourself. And just recognize that truth that you've been holding inside of you. Recognize the perfect human inside you. Now take a deep breath and bring yourselves back.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about last time, but now you've all had a little taste of the kind of work you're going to be learning at the Ancient Healing Academy. And I just want to give you an idea kind of about the structure and how it would kind of work and answer any questions that you might have. So the Academy is taught in 3 levels, and each level has 2 semesters of 12 weeks each. And there's a course every day, or 5 days a week, I should say, taught by each of the different instructors. It's taught entirely online, and COVID permitting, if we ever get past this and we can travel, we want to end with an optional live in-person retreat, either in Sedona or in Greece, at the end of each level to kind of seal it in. Those aren't required for your certification, but is available to you. And the first year is level 1, which is mastery of the self. And that's when we kind of use all of these things that we're learning to explore ourselves and grow and sort of clear ourselves so that we can be the healers we want to be. And the second level or the second year is mastery of tools. So that's when we're going to start practicing and really learning how to apply the things that we are taking in and kind of getting to a second level of what those things are. And then the third year, level 3, is mastery of practice. That's when we're going to start working with other people outside of our group and sort of starting to really become a practitioner of some of the different modalities that we're going to be learning. You can take only one level or you can take all 3. You'll get a certification after each level, and we are certified through the American Association of Drugless Practitioners, AADP. And so each level you will get certified in level 1, level 2, or level 3. And each level is $1,800. And I think it's a very good deal because you're actually going to be certified in multiple things and be able to use all kinds of different healing tools, since we have all these modalities under one roof. And the program is a really hands-on participatory program. So you'll be working with each other and actually doing different things during the courses. And so the first year is sort of this initiation where you're introduced to the multiple healing modalities. The second year, you're honing in on your healing specialties. And then the third year, you're starting to really put yourself out there in your chosen healing crafts. And some of the types of things you're going to learn are some of the energy healing arts like Reiki, some of the tapping techniques that we've been working on, breath and meditation, spiritual journeys like tantric studies, goddess work, intuitive skills, divination, tarot. And we really just want to ignite that sort of divine ancient wisdom that lives within you so you can channel it and bring it to healing on every plane. And we do have a special offer for the first 5 people who sign up. They're going to each receive a private 30-minute session with all 4 of our instructors. So that's a great added bonus. If you're excited and eager to sign up, you can go and sign up, and the first 5 will get to have private sessions with each of us. So we hope you're going to join us in the Ancient Healing Academy, and you can claim your ancient healing power and awaken that ancient healing knowledge inside of you. So that if you have any questions, we're all happy to answer them.